How to get Paraguayan permanent residency. Paraguay has one of the easiest no-show residencies in the world, and it got even easier. Before, you had to make a deposit of $5,000, which you could take from the bank at a later date. But now they are no longer requiring the $5,000 deposit. But the downside is they are not making you instantly a permanent resident. They are making you a temporary resident for 2 years, and then you got to make a second trip back to the country, and then after 2 years they will make you a permanent resident. Why I think the permanent residency of Paraguay is so valuable is two things: is you don't have to live in the country, you can continue living in Europe or the United States and go about your business, and it's a great plan B, a backup plan. And then also it leads to a second passport. So in 36 months you can apply for a Paraguayan passport, and it will cost you about $20,000 with attorney's fees, and you can pick up a second passport. And when you look at what countries are charging these days, you know, like a St. Kitts and stuff like that, it's like $150,000. And this is a cheap way to pick up a second passport. Paraguay is an extremely safe country. It is very cheap there. It has one of the most stable currencies in South America. And in my opinion, is an undiscovered gem that not a lot of people know about, and there's not a lot of tourism there. So it's not overrun with tourists. The people, love foreigners there. The food's incredible, and it's a great place to, go visit, and you'll have a great time there. So all you got to do is you got to find the right attorney, and attorneys range between $1,500 to $3,500, and you get what you pay for, because higher up attorneys can get through the process faster. And there's a lot of scams out there where people are promising these low rates, and you might send them a wire transfer and never hear from them again. So if you follow me, I will give you a list of my vetted attorneys and people that I've used or trust in the country. And as far as documentations that you need, if you're from the United States, you need an FBI background check. And whatever country you're in, you need the police report. Then you have to take this document and send it to the State Department. And the State Department will apostille it. And then you'll get those documents back. You need your birth certificate. You need all this stuff, certified. And then you will send this to your attorney. Make sure everything's perfect before you go down there. And then another warning, you need a yellow fever vaccination. But if you're coming directly from the United States, you don't need it. But I made this mistake because I wanted to travel around before. I flew into Peru and was spending 2 weeks in Peru traveling around. And then when I went to the airport to try to fly in, they asked me for the yellow fever. They wouldn't take a copy. You actually have to have the physical yellow fever booklet. So it depends what country you're coming from, but that's, that could cause you a big headache like it did with me. And then another warning is you no longer need a visa to go to Paraguay, where they used to charge like $130, but you need this visa to start the permanent residency process. And this was a mistake my attorney made, and it caused a couple days delay, and you can just pick that up at the airport. So consult with your attorney about that, because you need this visa to get the process started. The average time on this thing is like you'll go down on the first trip, and then maybe 3 months later, you'll get processed and you'll come back and you'll get your temporary residency. And then in 2 years, you'll come back and you'll get your permanent residency. There's a big expat group living there. It's going to be one of the safest countries to be in the future. And I just think it is just a solid all-around country, and you should definitely check it out. I have a free Telegram group, the Bitcoin Capitalists. There's hundreds of people in there from all different countries looking at different residencies. I don't know everything, and everyone's got their own expertise on certain areas, and you can connect and network with other people in there. So follow me, subscribe to this channel, and let's learn about some residencies and some options in the future.